All right, welcome everyone. As always, have your props handy, your bolster or stacked pillows, your different size blankets, and different towels, specifically your small towel to roll up and place underneath your neck when we're reclined on the floor. So let's move into our first posture that we've been doing at the beginning of all of our sessions so far, which is legs up the chair. So just come to the side of the chair and just slowly lower your forearms while you raise your legs. And your knees want to be bent at least about a 90-degree angle. Nice soft towel underneath your low back and sacrum for extra softness and support, and a rolled up towel underneath your neck. And just take some time to get adjusted in this first posture. And allow your arms just to float down by your sides, palms facing up. Take a moment to shift your pelvis so you can feel your entire spine pressed against the surface beneath you. And just notice how that feels in your body. Notice if it's awkward to release that low back and feel your whole spine against the floor, or if it actually feels really good. And then start at your toes and just allow your feet to fall open. Soften your knees. Soften your thighs. Release your hip. Release tension in your belly. Open the chest. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. And soften your gaze, or you can even close your eyes. And begin just to sense your breath, the rise and fall of your body with each inhale and exhale, the cooling sensations through your nostrils on the inhale, the warming sensation through your throat on the exhale. And just notice where your breath is today. Notice if your inhales are shorter than your exhales, or if you find that it's a little bit harder to inhale longer, and if your breaths are short. Just notice. Accept that that's where you are in this moment. And then if you haven't already, begin to breathe in and out exclusively by your nose, using the diaphragmatic breathing pattern that we always use in these practices, keeping the belly soft and expansive on the inhale, filling up like a balloon as you inhale, feeling the rib cage naturally expand, the chest naturally lift, and then exhale, drawing the navel towards the spine. Inhale, belly soft, expansive. Exhale, navel towards the spine. Continue breathing this way throughout the practice, keeping that belly soft and expansive on the inhale. As you draw your navel towards your spine on the exhale. This helps to relax the psoas muscle, that muscle that runs from the top of your femur to the small of your back at your sacrum. Tones the abdominal muscles. A lot of people think, well, if I'm keeping my belly soft, how's that toning? Yeah, it does seem counterintuitive, right? But if we don't soften what we're trying to tone, it just becomes tight and less effective. So when we breathe and we allow the belly to be soft and expansive on the inhale, and then we draw the navel towards the spine on the exhale, that drawing the navel towards the spine is engaging those abdominals. We soften them to prepare them to be engaged. Continue breathing soft and evenly, in and out by your nose. Checking in with your shoulders, softening them away from your ears. Checking in with your pelvis, shifting the pelvis so you can feel the entire spine on the surface beneath you. On your next inhale, prepare to move out of this posture. First, by just bending your knees towards you, placing the soles of your feet on the chair or the sofa, and then slowly rolling over to one side, using your hands as support, pressing through the palms of your hands, using your entire arm and shoulder. So now we're going to come to a supported. It's a supported back bend, but it doesn't look like a back bend, but your back is actually extending. So if you have a bolster or a couple pillows, prop them up on the sofa or the chair. If your chair is light, use the sofa instead because we're going to be leaning against the chair. Okay, so you want the chair to be strong enough to hold your weight. And then you can cross your legs in front of you, or you can just keep them wide and open. And then allow your head to just fall, to relax back, extending the neck. Your chest is lifted. Your cervical spine is extended. You can place your hands on your knees or in your lap if your legs are crossed. And just really allow yourself to feel this opening through the throat. It's a very subtle back bend. And if you're using a sofa, you can extend your arms out and relax them on the surface of the sofa. But if you're on a chair, I wouldn't recommend it because it pulls down through the shoulders. So if you're on a sofa, you can relax your arms open onto the sofa. Otherwise, just keep your hands in your lap and check in with that breath again. Breathing by the nose exclusively and keeping the belly soft and expansive on the inhale. Drawing your navel towards the spine on the exhale. And focusing on that lift through the chest as the belly expands. The ribs naturally expand, and when the ribs expand, the chest lifts on that inhale. And then notice how the chest relaxes and releases, the ribs come back in, the diaphragm moves back under the rib cage on that exhale. So follow the movement of your body. Sometimes I refer to this as 3-part breath because first the belly expands, the ribs expand, and then the chest lifts on the inhale. And then the chest slowly falls, the ribs slowly come back to center, and the diaphragm moves up just beneath the rib cage, and the belly draws towards the spine. So just follow this movement at the pace of your natural inhales and exhales. And maybe count to 3 on the inhale, and then down from 3 on the exhale. Again, always checking in with your shoulders, being certain that they're drawn away from your ears. Shoulders are relaxed, hips are relaxed, you're fully supported, and you're breathing. Checking in with the throat. Sometimes in this posture, people complain of a dry throat. Just swallow a few times if that's happening for you, if you're feeling like it's closing or open too much. Just swallow a couple times. It helps to relax the throat in this posture. Maybe also practice opening and closing your jaw, opening and closing your mouth. And just play around with that. See how that feels in this supported position. Nothing else to do but breathe in this posture. Play with the breath. Notice what your body's doing. Notice how your body's responding. We'll do a few more rounds of breath here. On your next exhale, begin to transition out of the posture. The best way to come out of this posture is just to first place the soles of your feet on the floor, and then place your hands on your knees before lifting back up into a neutral spine position. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try a different variation of supported child's pose or a forward fold. So usually we have our legs straight or spread when we do the forward folds. Today I'm going to ask you to try either having your legs open but your knees bent, or you can just sit in what's called hero's pose with your knees bent. And if it feels better for you, you can place a towel or something underneath your heels where your buttocks touch your heels so it feels a little softer. And then keeping that bolster or the stacked pillows on top of the chair, just slowly fold forward, crossing your arms and placing your forehead on your tops of your hands. Allowing the head to fully just relax and be supported. As you first check in with your shoulders, releasing them away from your ears. And then tune in to that soft belly breathing, that 3-part breath, expanding the belly, keeping it soft and expansive on the inhale. Ribs expand, chest lifts. Exhale, drawing the navel towards the spine, which draws the diaphragm back up underneath the rib cage, softening the chest, softening the ribs, toning the belly. And just allowing yourself to feel and experience this gentle rounding of the back. This gentle flexion of the entire spine. Again, just checking in with the breath, playing, maybe counting 3, 2, 1 on the inhale. Exhaling, 3, 2, 1. What happens naturally when we inhale, our heart rate increases on the inhale. And our heart rate decreases on the exhale. But the longer we can extend the exhale, the more likely our heart rate will decrease to a more resting state. Meaning, if you inhale for 3, try exhaling for a count of 4, 5, or 6, and see how that feels. And again, as always, this is a practice. So it might take time to build up to a count of 4, or a count of 5, or a count of 6 on that exhale. Just be patient. And allow yourself to receive any messages that your body's sending, never forcing. So if you're at 3.5 and that's all you can exhale, then it's 3.5 today. Checking in with the shoulders, relaxing them away from your ears. Really noticing what's happening in that cervical spine across your neck. Keeping the belly soft and expansive on the inhale. As you draw your navel towards the spine on the exhale. Allowing the back to be rounded to the degree that feels comfortable for you. A few more rounds of breath here. On your next exhale, begin to transition out of the posture. First by placing your hands on the bolster or the pillows on the chair, and pressing through your palms using the strength of your arms to press back up into neutral spine position, and then coming off of your heels. And now we're going to move into what's called a supported bridge pose. It's also a slight back extension. So have a small pillow or cushion close by, right next to you. Or if you use a yoga block, have a yoga block ready with a small towel over top of it. And then also your rolled up towel to place underneath your neck too. All right, so we're going to start with our knees bent, feet shoulder hip width distance apart. Place your hands on either side of your hips. Slowly lower one arm and then the other until your entire back, your spine is on the mat. Grab your little rolled up towel first and place it underneath your neck. And then reach for that soft pillow or the block with the soft towel on it. So have one or the other ready. And on an inhale, lift your hips up off the floor for a second. Place the pillow right there so when you relax down, it is supporting your low back. You can relax your arms open in a T position or raise them a little bit higher for a little extra stretch there. And your knees, your feet can be wider and your knees can come together. Or you can keep them at hip width distance. But if it feels better for you to draw the knees together, just widen your feet and then allow the knees to come together. Again, checking in with that breath pattern, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, keeping that belly soft and expansive on the inhale. As you draw your navel towards the spine on the exhale, tapping into that 3-part breath pattern that's created through the diaphragmatic breathing exercise that we've been practicing throughout the practice. Playing with extending the exhale. Relaxing the pelvis, relaxing the hips. Allow your body to be fully supported by the surface beneath you. You can raise your arms a little higher if you find that that stretch feels good for you. Or you can just keep them relaxed out by your side in a T position. Just really focusing on the breath today. Focusing on playing with extending that exhale. Just noticing how your body responds, if it responds. And in this position, you can place your hand right there on your chest. You can sense the beating of your heart just beneath your palm. You can sense the heart beating a little bit faster on the inhale. And then you can notice and feel how it softens and slows on the exhale. So practicing these breath patterns increases your heart rate variability, which is often a sign of good heart health, good cardiovascular health. And it's something that you can improve with practice, consistent practice and awareness. Anytime throughout your day, you can play with your breath, improve your heart rate variability, and allow your body to come to a natural state of rest and relaxation. And I like to remind everyone that sleep is a function of the body, just like digestion. It's necessary. And the better quality sleep we get, the more ready we are to move throughout our day when we wake up. And these breath practices allow us to relax before we hit the pillow. They teach us and train us how to do that so that we can relax our mind, relax that chattering, relax that monkey mind that wants to do a million things, think a million thoughts, but we can't keep up with a million thoughts. So instead, we can just count our breaths. And fall asleep faster. All right, we'll do a few more rounds of breath here, keeping the belly soft and expansive on the inhale. As you draw your navel towards the spine on the exhale. And when it feels good for you, we're going to move out of this posture and come back up into a seated position. So if you've drawn your knees together, open the knees, place the feet so they're hip-width distance apart. Inhale, lift and remove the pillow or the block from beneath your hips. Slowly lower your hips back down to the mat, down to the surface. And then roll over to one side. Again, using your palms, using your hands, pressing through the palms of your hands, using your arms and shoulders to lift yourself back up to a seated position. Again, you can cross your legs if that feels good for you, or you can just relax your legs open, extending them out forward. And allow your spine to be fully lifted, your shoulders to be lifted, drawn away from your ears. And if it's in your practice, I welcome you to bring your hands to heart center in this mudra of reverence. Reverence for yourself, reverence for everyone who showed up to join us today, reverence for your family who gave you the opportunity to have some quiet time, to relax and restore. And taking one final inhale by your nose. Your exhale finishes the practice. Thank you, everyone. Next week is our last session. Hope you can make it. Now I have to figure out how to stop this.